Hello YouTubers, welcome into the part 0 for Persia, Cyrus, during our One More Marathon. This is one of my all-time favorite civs. Many of you who are long-time followers of the channel know that quite well. There are many things you can do with Persia, namely two: domination and culture, and he's very good at both. So let's talk about the individual abilities, and we'll talk about what you can do with them overall. Fall of Babylon is +2 movement for the first 10 turns after declaring a surprise war on a major civilization. So that means no city-states, and just no city-states. That's already great. 2 movement for 10 turns after declaring a surprise war. This movement applies to all of your units, which means non-civilian or civilian units as well as military units. So you can use this for builders. You can get onto a hill and chop at the same time. You can move settlers incredibly quickly. You can declare a surprise war on your furthest neighbor just for the movement, and it winds up being pretty sweet. Now, diplomacy is a thing, so don't declare them willy-nilly, but it's an incredible ability. It's incredibly easy to pull off. Unlike some of these other variants we've seen, Persia does this best. Everybody else is just doing a Persia cosplay. 5 loyalty per turn in occupied cities with a garrisoned unit. Declaring a surprise war only counts as a formal war in terms of grievances. So it helps a little bit in terms of grievances. People don't get as mad at you, but they'll still get mad at you over time. So again, use your discretion. But this is an incredibly powerful ability that leads you into, especially with the combination of the Immortal, being an incredibly good early classic era warmonger kind of civ. This does carry out throughout the game, so you can do classic Immortal Wars, and then later on you can use it with tanks or whatever you want. It's actually particularly good with aircraft as well. Just having your bombers have a couple extra movement on it makes a huge difference, and can speed up your games. So very powerful ability, very specifically for war. Although there's usually a time and place to use it regardless. Satrapies gives you 1 extra trade route capacity with political philosophy, 2 extra gold, and 1 culture for trade routes between your cities, so internally, which pairs really well with like early war, because sometimes you give up your trade route capacity or your trade route cities, your potential trade route cities, when you war somebody particularly close with you. You know, they might have suzerains, you might lose those, etc. So you can use internal trade routes to great applause and aplomb, while getting an extra trade route at political philosophy, which is pretty early in the game and a pretty valuable thing to have. Roads built in your territory 1 level more advanced than usual. You might go, what does that do? It allows your immortals to move and shoot in the same turn, even more so than they would have with Fall of Babylon and everything else. Upgraded roads, maybe not the greatest thing on paper, but it winds up being pretty darn useful in games. The Immortal is a swordsman replacement with a ranged attack of 2 and a stronger defensive strength. So you are able to take your warriors, get battle cry +7 combat strength, and then shoot cities and units with it. It's already incredibly good, and then consider the fact that you don't have to have your swordsmen punching into cities and taking damage. You can just surround cities and then just pew them down. And it's incredibly good, especially compared with the roads, or paired with the roads and paired with the extra movement. Really good. You might go, okay, this guy is just a straight up domination civ. I get it. I know how to kill people. But just wait. We have the Paradisia. This is a unique tile improvement, giving us culture and 2 gold and +1 appeal. That's been nerfed a little bit recently. That's probably my fault. I'm sorry. +1 culture for each adjacent holy site and theater square, +1 gold for each adjacent commercial hub and city center. You get additional culture and tourism as you pass through the tree. Can't be built on snow hills, tundra, or adjacent to another one. So anytime you have an appeal-based tile improvement, the culture game is totally open to you. Previous playthroughs, if you hunt through my channel, we have done theater squareless, no theater square at all, theater squareless culture victories. You can pull that off very well with Persia. Lots of extra culture and tourism you can get from just tiles alone. And then you can obviously just do traditional culture stuff with boosting seaside resorts, national parks, stuff like that. It used to be 2 appeal, now it's 1. But overall, it leads for one of the best kits in the game, in my opinion. Early war into economy is an incredibly useful and reliable way of winning Deity games. I think he's particularly good on Deity, and he's just a super fun civ to play. You can form your play path however you like, but war into culture is great, war into war is great, culture into culture is great. So much fun to be had with Persia. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoy these. Let me know what you think of them in the comments below. And don't forget to stop by twitch.tv/thegamemechanic and come join us live in person on the internet where we record all of these things and more. Thanks for watching.